Ahoy there, mateys! Back again here with another episode of Gregtech Community Edition Modern. Don't know why I decided to try a boat. I just thought it'd be kind of funny for start of the episode, but we'll leave that here. Let's turn around and bring it back to shore. And last time, we ended up getting our greenhouse out here going, wiring it up to some distilleries, which I have now moved one of them, and you'll see why in a minute, down so that we can get biomass into ethanol, which that is still going. It's taking a little bit of time. We're still sifting out plenty of stone dust, as we've got quite the backlog of it. Just because I've been mining this entire time until then, so... And I kind of want to keep doing it because it's a good way to get more things. So that includes aluminum. The potassium has aluminum in it. The biotite has aluminum in it. Aluminum in it. But, so yeah, we're keeping strong here. I got a episode here where we're going to start getting, hopefully, our polyethylene up and running. So we're going to go ahead and start by making that. We're going to get out a couple different things that we need. We need, I guess I have a rotor. I need 2 of these, which I think I need 3. Let's see. Now I need another one. And then we have the chest and that for a bat box. And then this should be what we need in that manner, I believe. Because we're doing a bat box, we're doing... Let's see. So, first we want another turbine, because we're going to need more power. And we're getting a gas one, as it's going to help us use the fuel that we have down below, that I'll show you where I put that in a second. But now we need a bat box, and I want to do a ×8 voltage, just because that's kind of where I plan on going with having more machines downstairs for the time being. And the last one we need is this advanced chemical reactor. And so with all of these here, we'll be able to start the process of making ethylene. Because we just need to grab this, come over here. I don't know why that block is there. But here's what the downstairs looks like now. Got quite a different setup. Haven't done anything over here yet. I think I'm going to make this a lounge at some point. Just because I think it's a cool little space that I had made so that we had a place out for our greenhouse to be at. But we have one pyrolysine oven moved down. And this one I haven't done much with yet because we are waiting for a couple more blocks to be able to finish it up. As well as I don't really want to make more copper nickel wires yet, as we're going to be replacing the ones upstairs fairly shortly. Plus, I'm not needing enough fuel fast enough to be able to fill this massive tank that I brought down here with our little distillery wired up with a gas turbine so that it can continue to run. And the bright side on that is the pipe now extending over here with that upgrade. This will fill up, and I'm hoping that once that fills up, I think I can do restrictive pipes. So I'll have it so that fills up so we have a stockpile, and we're probably going to actually take off that upgrade for it in the meantime. But we'll put a restrictive pipe on this, which what that means is that it will automatically select that route last. So by that means it would basically go through and out to there, and then anything in excess will come over and get turned into benzene. Because we can put I think it was a centrifuge to get the benzene. So now that we have that, I do have my sulfuric acid being made right here. And I don't have any drums that can currently hold it, as if we go read our quest. So I guess it doesn't tell you there, it tells you here. And it wants us to get the hydrochloric acid. So let's go make that so we can unlock this quest. With the hydrochloric acid, we have obtain it by mixing hydrogen and chlorine. This acid is also obtained as a waste product from reaction involving chlorine. Depending on your setups, you'll never need to produce it directly. We have a medicine command on our... Do not attempt this in real life, but it's not only illegal, but it's also stupidly dangerous. It's talking about drinking it. This applies to toying with chemicals. Please don't do it. Side note, we can guarantee you have a sample of this with you right now. It's in your stomach as part of your gastric acid. I don't know what's going on, why it's becoming so difficult for me to read things properly. But if we go get a cell of... I think I actually just have them over here. We got hydrogen here. But not... I ended up also replacing this is where I've got my large amounts of... So if we do this, I think it's in the chemical reactor. Yep. And then we need to go grab a bucket, as it will literally melt anything else. Kind of the cool part about having... where did it just go? In there. You're not supposed to do that. Anyways, we now have hydrochloric acid. So that will unlock this quest that will talk about this. You may notice that some fluids say they're acidic, with sulfuric acid being one of them. This means that many fluid pipes will not be able to transport them safely. At MV, the cheapest pipes for acid transportation are probably gold, with some more expensive vanadium steel or chrome pipes. Taking second and third place, stainless steel or polytetrafluoroethylene, try saying that fast, will be valid options once you arrive to HV. You have 3 options for acid storage at around this point: glass vials, gold drums, or super tanks. Glass vials are like fluid cells and are made to store acids. Gold drums are self-explanatory. Super tanks will be unlocked after polyethylene and can store any fluid without restriction. Warning: acids in the wrong pipes will cause voiding, pipe burning, and high chance of death. Be careful. So that'll give us a couple glass vials so we can mess with this for now. So that's kind of what I wanted to be able to do, because I'm going to pipe this out probably from underneath and around to a little setup over here, where this is probably where I want to make the plastics for now. As we were... Actually, no, it was over here that I wanted to do that, because I planned on dropping the brewery down. Just because I don't see the point in having it that far up. So we are going to give it a little bit of space, though, because I don't want it right into where we're going to go. So I'm thinking if we get like a little, probably right about there, we can go right here, do our, oh, we're going to want this like this sideways, I guess, right there with a battery buffer. And we can throw our 8 batteries in there. This will also allow us to line out a section for pipes. Okay, and then I just gotta go grab some of those pipes that I forgot to grab while I was up there. Kind of did a little bit of sorting. I don't want to do too much more of that just because we are getting close to ME storage pretty soon. And I'd rather have dry bays filled with what we need, rather than worrying too much about each individual chest looking... Oh, we don't want that. We want that. And this should slowly flow on over here. And I know the bronze aren't particularly fast, but they will suffice for now, especially due to the fact that gas is a much more efficient source of power, with only 2 millibuckets used per I think it's per 32 energy per second. We'll have to take a look at that here in a second once we get back down there. But I know it's one of those. It's really, really low. So even these small bronze fluid pipes should suffice for even just a single turbine at the moment, and they can be replaced later. If I place them properly, that would be helpful. But go ahead and hook that up. And now we will start charging our batteries. We will put our chemical reactor here. I can put a single one on here, as it will only draw 1 amp of power. But let's go get an 8 times cable, just so that we don't have any issues and we don't have to think about it in the future. So that's going to just require 4 thrown into here. But yeah, it's been kind of crazy. Got plenty of time to be able to get a whole lot of things moved around. I did go get these shroom lights to help light up the base a little bit more at night. Now, it doesn't help that I don't have very much down below, but I plan on trying to fix that soon, and I want to look at some stuff and see if you can do the shroom lights as a facade and have them hold the light value, or if that's something that just kind of goes away the moment that you 1, 2, 3, 4. That was not what I wanted. Well, it requires 3. Interesting. But we can now come down here and set this up to power our advanced chemical reactor. Now if we come over here and take our glass vials we just got and shift click to fill them all instead of filling them one at a time, we can put all of that inside of here. Look up ethylene. So in a chemical reactor we can make it using ethanol and sulfuric acid, and we get a byproduct of diluted sulfuric acid. So this can be then dealt with afterwards, but we're going to go ahead and get our ethylene by putting in our ethanol, which we have our drum up here, and this setup's going to get moved down in a bit too, just because I don't really want to leave it up here, as it's kind of in the way, and it's going to be part of automated processes instead of a handcraft machine. So I do need to bring it down. We're going to have to look at if we can distill. So let's look at this. If we use this, so we can either distill it into water or sulfuric acid with either level of distillery. So this is one thing I did want to find out, because we can probably power both the brewery as well as the distillery to refresh that back into the loop. And so we'll be able to place like a gold drum down here, have this pipe out the sulfuric acid one way, the ethylene a different way, and so we'll probably be able to actually just make like a super tank or something here in the middle and be able to get exactly what we want. So now with that plastic, or the ethylene done, the very first of it, we can grab that out with our bucket. Oh, that's hydrochloric acid. Let's just stick that away somewhere else, and hopefully it doesn't get spilled. And chew through that chest. And we will come down here and we will grab out our first bucket of ethylene to finish that quest. So, Our warmest congratulations on making it here. The way you should obtain ethylene was described in the previous quest depending on the route you chose. Ethylene will be shortly used in polymer production. It is also useful in a few other reactions. We'll find that out another time, but we want to get to our polyethylene sheets, because this is going to be our next plastic, our very first plastic, next rubber-like substance, and this will help replace a lot of recipes, making things way cheaper in the long run when it comes to making new machines, as that's why I've been looking to get this part done in particular. But if you want to be less fancy, just call it plastic. For the polymerization process, add oxygen, which gives better returns than air. Then solidify like you would with rubber. Polyethylene is the key to unlocking many new things. It's commonly used as sheets or in fluid form. In addition, some recipes are now more efficient. Check out diodes and machine holes, both LV and MV, and that's exactly what I was talking about. And then it looks like we'll get some ethanol or naphtha in an aluminum cell once that is done, which either way, they'll be okay recipe things to get. But let's go look at ethylene in the chemical reactor. So we can either get polyethylene with air, or as it said, with oxygen. And it looks like oxygen is 1.5 times, whereas air is only 1 times. And we currently do have tons of oxygen, as I do have a gas collector that I put together off screen to go into a centrifuge. So we have plenty of stuff for that. Actually, do I need... I guess the question is... No, I can do it in an LV. So we'll probably be making another one of those at some point. What recipe number do I need? Number 1? That will only use a little bit, so we can actually stack on a bunch of... Oh, can't hold oxygen in vials. Interesting. I mean, it makes sense, but... And as you see, we got our liquid rubber, and we got our liquid polyethylene. So now if we pipe this out to where we've been piping it out, we'll get the rubber out, and once that rubber is out, we will then get our very first polyethylene plates. And here we go. Very first plastic sheets. Nice. Now let's go ahead and get the ethanol aluminum cell, as we already have ethanol as well. We can just dump that in, and now we basically just opened up a free cell. Oh, that's a lot. 32? Wow. I'm gonna have to get a canner so we can switch that up, because I do like the idea of being able to just grab that and dump it. And we can bring that up kind of a little bit as we need it. The sodium persulfonate's still in there for making the circuit board stuff. But now we've got polyvinyl chloride is the 3rd most produced plastic in real life. This is PVC pipes, item pipes that have the highest throughput available for a while, but most of your setups right now won't need such speed. So I don't think we're going to do that in the meantime, as that's not going to be something super needed. However, it looks like... Can we put them through the bender? We can. So it looks like we can start making some stuff a little bit cheaper. So if we get iron chloride 3... sodium persulfonate can be used in ore processing in the chemical bath to get various bonus outputs that would normally not be attained. It's completely optional, but pretty rewarding. Wait, stop. That's only a distraction. The real topic of this quest is sodium persulfonate and iron 3 chloride are used to make cheaper, good circuit boards, as their inclusion cuts silver usage by a factor of 4. They're also required to make plastic circuit boards. So let's see about that. We got iron. Is it this way? I guess they do use the eyes. So iron chloride, this is where we need that hydrogen chloride. Hydrochloric acid. So we get that with some iron dust. So let's go get a bunch of chlorine and hydrogen. Let's do that. Let's go get some more ethylene first and try to use up all that oxygen. And does it count it? Interesting. Okay. And put in our... Oh, it is counted as a gas. I did not realize that that was the case. Makes me want to do some more... Ooh, don't do that there. Makes me want to do some more research on that in real life, just because kind of interesting to find out that it's probably something where it is gaseous at, what is it, room temperature? And that if it wasn't room temperature, it would be a little bit better. But all of our ethylene out. That'll get rid of all of the oxygen. In the meantime, we need chlorine as well. You know, I could just do this. This would be better. And then I can empty out the ethylene afterwards. Look at those plastic sheets rolling in. And then this is what I was talking about. Let's go ahead and save that recipe for now. But this is what I was talking about with machine casings, where instead of using this recipe, which uses the 2 wires, the machine hole, and all of that, it now just uses a single machine casing and the wires. So we end up saving, we don't need any more iron, we don't need an extra piece of aluminum, we just need the 8 pieces of aluminum for each machine casing. Which, that ends up adding up real fast, and you don't realize how fast that adds up until all of a sudden it's like, needed. I did get that, the basic centrifuge going so that we could put a drum on there. We could actually grab out the rest of our nitrogen gas and let it go on again and dump it in there. But I wanted that so that we can now have the recipe in here. Oh, I guess we need a 2 on there, don't we? I think... Yeah, I gotta have the 2, otherwise it does the regular recipe. But I wanted that so that instead of doing these 44.2 seconds, we'll look over here again in a second after that's done. We grab out our ethylene, we'll put in our chlorine, and we'll put in our stuff, make more hydrochloric acid, and stop pumping it into there because we don't want it in there. Oh boy, I'm so glad that it doesn't mess with machines, otherwise we'd be kind of out of luck there. So take out our sulfur and rubber. And seeing that, now it's 30 seconds basically. Just a whole lot faster. We were wanting iron, macerated iron. Do I have any in here at the moment? No. Still going away, brute forcing through that. So now if we do like... So if we have 8... it's going to be enough for 2. So if we do 2 of those in the macerator, Because it is 3 to 2. Oh, we got 16. What am I talking about? So we will start that up, though. And then I will sleep to get rid of the rain while that's going. Get our very first hydrogen sulfide. And then we can start making better circuits pretty soon. 1, 2, 3. 3 more. There is our iron chloride 3. So with that together, that's going to give us some salt ore. But we can now make plastic circuit boards using the polyethylene, sulfuric acid, and copper foils. Oh, and it looks like, yeah, it's just... Which one are you using? So, we'll have to go grab some of those out. Let's grab our iron. Dump that in there to continue making more. Go ahead and move this on over. Now, one of the other things there is that I do... Wait, what was the... What the... I'm sorry, what was the iron chloride 3 blocking that for again? I think it was for this part. It was. Okay, so now we go get our sulfuric acid. Okay. Sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. We don't really need that much, but I'm gonna just go overkill right now. Gotta get this stuff out of over here. Gotta get some automated stuffing into boxes, pretty much. But let's go ahead and make a bunch of this copper foil. Grab out a couple plastic sheets. Let's get up to 10. I guess we'll do 12. And that in here with our plastic sheets. Start making us some of those plastic boards. And then capacitors. What does the capacitor require? So we need a thin... Yeah. Yeah. And I'm hoping... I guess we need the capacitor. We need way more than this. So we'll make the few plastic boards that I'm going to make. And then from there... Oh boy. That's a long road to make the plastic boards too. Was that 25 seconds a piece? But that gives us our plastic boards, and then I think it was saying using those in the chemical reactor. Oh no, it's copper foil once again. So yeah, that removes silver entirely out of the process. Allows us, we'll just go ahead and pull this out. We'll make three of these. And get that, and I think that'll have to be all we can do for now, as we're running out of time here. I was kind of nice to see that. I forgot that these are massive comparatively. But there we go, there we go. We got our first plastic printed boards. Now, with that plastic printed board, this gets us one step closer to HV, as that's what the polyurethane is for. We need that to get our plastics, to get better LV circuits, better MV circuits, and then move into HV. At this point, you'll have the tools available to start making plastic boards. Higher tier polymers in the future will increase your PCB yields. substantially. The recipe chains are starting to get pretty long and recommended processing large batches in 2 dedicated chemical reactors. That's something to get on to for another time, because we definitely want lots of these. But thank you guys for watching now. Next time we'll get even closer to actually using these with something on top of a couple other things I've been wanting to make, as it will allow me to look into AE a lot closer and get our storage solution, and you'll see a lot less clutter, a lot less chests all around the base. As you can see, we've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then, you know, awful large amounts of storage, all scattered along the place. Technically, this is a factory sim, so it's just like any other old factory sim, spaghetti everywhere. Hoping to fix that here. See you guys next time. Bye!